Hello my friends and welcome back to another commentary. Today it's going to be Medieval 2 and it's another battle of a subscriber. I didn't play that one and we have the subscriber is called Dimaxu. Thank you a lot for sending in a couple of Medieval 2 replays. I watched a couple of them and I decided to bring you this as a first one, as this really is an interesting one. Like, not to say the other ones aren't interesting, but I do think that this is that shows how easy you can throw away a battle, let's put it this way. So yeah, he is playing as the Moors and the opponent is commanding France. The opponent is called Emperor Jonathan, and let's just go over the armies. Our dear friend brought peasant crossbowmen and 4 units of crossbowmen militia, followed up by 4 units of dismounted Arab cavalry. The third rank is dismounted Christian Guard, very heavily armored guys. Then he has Tuareg camel spearmen twice. These guys are very good to fight against other cavalry units, as they inflict fear in them, and lowering their morale obviously then. Because, well, who fights versus camels? That's not really a usual thing to see for a knight. Then we have Christian Guard, Christian Guard, Christian Guard, Christian Guard. 4 units of Christian Guard, which is heavy cavalry. And then we have the bodyguard of the general, which is heavily armored. The map also is very interesting, as the gorge basically splits the map into 4 pieces. And it heavily invites into camping. Not in the corners, but here on these edges. As, yeah, if the opponent rushes you uphill, they're going to lose unless you let them come up and then fight on even ground again. What you would like to happen, I guess, is the skirmishes stay on the cliff, infantry and cavalry fights in the middle, and whoever is the victor wins the battle then, more or less. But again, you don't really have much space here to maneuver around, fall in the back and stuff like this. So yeah, we will see how this is going to turn out. France brought 5 units of crossbowmen. Here they have dismounted feudal knights, which are very good infantry. 2 of them, then 2 chivalric knights. I prefer the looks of them. I think they're also more modern compared to the feudal knights. Like, the type of armor was made in the later Middle Ages. Then we have a third one of the chivalric knights and 1 more dismounted feudal knights. What do we have here? Here, dismounted noble knights. Let's have a look. Ah, okay, yeah, they have warhammers, which are quite the frightening weapon to fight against. And then here, Knights Hospitaller, 2 units. Knights Hospitaller, 1 more unit, and then we have 2 more units, so 4 units of Knights Hospitaller, 1 Knights Templar, and then obviously the General's Bodyguard as well, heavily armored. Let's start the battle and see how this is going to go. So I think the French player expected the Moorish player to appear on here so they can fight more or less on this even ground. And yeah, the Moorish expected the French player to appear here, which was not the case. So what's going to happen inevitably? Everyone is going to stand up their cliff and we will see who has the balls to attack, to give up their advantageous position and take the fight to their opponent. We can see both armies marching forward, not rushing across the gorge into the enemy hands, but positioning themselves and waiting for what happens to react then accordingly. So these crossbowmen are idle. Well, they're still marching, but they are, I think, not in range yet. Marching. Nope, they're idle as well. They can fire now. They're reloading at the moment. Yeah, they're out of no, these guys are firing. So the skirmisher fight is starting, and France does have the skirmisher advantage as they have 5 units of crossbowmen against the 4 of Dimaksu, and also he has peasants crossbowmen, which are really not what you want. And he decides to go for the attack as these guys would just shoot him to pieces in the end. And I need to say that the French player could have defended this much more nicely. If he would have had units charging downhill, he would have gotten such a nice charge. But instead he lets these guys charge uphill. They not only get into his crossbowmen, but also do get quite far up here. Not the greatest, but they do fight on nearly even ground, giving these dismounted Chevalier Knights not the downhill charge they would have wanted to get, or they could have gotten. So yeah, here we see dismounted Arab cavalry. Well, these guys just charge right through there. So yeah, charging all the way up here. They do have a small disadvantage that they are fighting uphill rather than downhill. And here you can see these units are already broken and routing. But he's doing his best, and I appreciate that he's trying to take the fight to the French player. He doesn't have really the biggest other chance as he is inferior and the skirmisher department. Here he is trying to bait the Frenchman to attack with his cavalry. And here we see the 2 camel spearmen charging forward and getting the opponent's cavalry stuck in this small gap here where they're all blobbed up. But unfortunately, they can't get cavalry around the flank here to fall in the back. So it's going to be a fight that will be grinded out, as cavalry can't really be used too well here, only for the French player maybe to charge in from the flanks. But yeah, we can see what do the troops say. Defeat seems certain. Victory seems certain. Victory is almost certainty. And he's also not chucking everything in immediately. The dismounted Christian Guard is still standing here. Yes, they are under fire, but these crossbowmen don't do really that much. And here we see another thing the French player did wrong. These dismounted feudal knights, dismounted Arab cavalry, they were broken already long ago, but he kind of surrounded them. And if you rout a unit medieval 2 and manage to surround them, then obviously the unit breaks. But if you don't let them find a way or leave a gap where they can get out, they will fight to the last man until you open a gap for them to run away through. And that can be very, very cost efficient for, in this case, the Moors. As these guys, they're already off the field, effectively, and he can't command them anymore, but they're still racking up kills. Not many, but a couple. And here we see now how is the cavalry fight going. Defeat is a distinct possibility. They are not. They are winning. Here we have now the crossbowmen in support for both sides. And yeah, let's see what is now. Victory seems certain. Only a fool would lose this battle. Defeat seems certain. Only a military genius could win that. Okay. Here we see even more units. Okay, he did leave a gap now. And he's breaking through everywhere here now. So it looks very, very bad for our friend here. He does the right thing and pulls these units back to take the advantage position himself now, as he does not want to lose anymore. I mean, the Arab cavalry, still 60 men left in this one. Okay, 6 on is not that many. 24 is half strength. And these dismounted Christian Guard is fighting. The balance of forces is evenly matched. Very evenly matched if you just look. So yeah, it's not really going that well for him. But you need to always keep in mind, he was the one who charged up. The French player could have been nice and positioned his troops here or something, or come when he saw that he's charging down, meet him here down here, but he chose to take the advantageous position. He didn't even make the best use of it. He could have done this much better. But yeah, with this kind of positioning, you just have to, and if you lose that, either you have crappy troops, or you made some very significant mistakes. Here, the French cavalry seems to be winning. Yeah, defeat seems certain, only a military genius. It keeps on changing. Could win that. So yeah, it seems not to go very well. Even these crossbowmen here, are they firing in the cavalry, which would be, yeah, they're firing at the cavalry, which is a better target than the opponent crossbowmen. Because if you just look, these guys can shoot in the back.
Half our force remains.
Most crossbowmen can shoot in the back of the French cavalry, while the French crossbowmen can only shoot in the back of their own guys, which is definitely not that great. And it looks like the Morris cavalry seems to be winning this battle now. He at least this skirmish, and the Frenchman gives up his positioning on this side, pulls all of his army, all of his troops to that side to take out the cavalry, only leaving dismounted noble knights. Defeat seems certain.
Half the enemy force remains. We must pray they lose their will to fight.
As you can see now, both armies are at half strength, so the Marks did manage to grind out quite a substantial bit of the French army, and most of his troops did reform. Because they got surrounded, their morale broke, but they didn't lose that many men, meaning they just ran off. And as you can see here, these dismounted feudal knights, 9 left, 8, or noble knights, sorry, 8 left. So these units are grinded down. They did fight all the time, yes, but in the end, they are less likely to come back. And even though they do come back, 8 and 9 men, or 7 now, it's very unlikely to do that much in the ongoing battles. So now, Demarxo managed to get onto this cliff and onto even ground with his infantry, and is also pulling now his cavalry out of this death zone. I mean, just look at this. So much cavalry laying there. To be honest, I see more blue, so more French, like in all the middle here. This hole is all blue. Here's, and then on the outside is quite a bit of orange. So yeah, these dismounted feudal knights are late, and they're just getting shot up on by these crossbow militia. And I love how they aim down, but the arrows, as you can see, go all the way up. Are they actually getting kills here? They should. It's quite the big blob. They're very tight, yes, they're getting kills. So let's just pause quickly and see what is actually left. So the Moorish forces are quite heavily injured. We have here dismounted Arab cavalry 2360 still, and then here dismounted Christian Guard 89, dismounted Christian Guard 90, 36 and 44. So the Christian Guard are the units he kept back. He kept in reserve, and that will be his advantage, as the French player did use most of his units, and they're all very tight. 80 chivalric knights, 83 feudal knights, 77 feudal knights, 39 feudal knights. Here the crossbowmen, I don't really take them into account. And yeah, here just more crossbowmen. And then this blob. There are dismounted feudal knights 54, and are this both feudal knights? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, dismounted chivalric knights 54 as well. And they're all very tired. How does it look with his units? Exhausted, very tired. Warmed up. So his full troops are warmed up, which is very important, as the fight efficiency is always better if they are rested. Here, the general's bodyguard, fresh, and they're all marching across now. Warmed up, the camels. Christian Guard. So they're all fresh and warmed up. Not too many men left, but still quite a substantial force. Then we have here the peasant crossbowmen, militia, and crossbow militia. And the French player has only these units on cavalry left. Hospitaller Knights 15, they're all tired. 3 Templar Knights. General's bodyguard with 19. He has... Oh, sorry. General General's Bodyguard with 19. Then we have Hospitallers with 9 and Knights Hospitaller with 4. So his cavalry is also much weaker. And that basically means he grinded him down here very, very great. As you can see here, all the dead units, it's mostly French. And then, yeah, the French commander gave away his advantageous position on this side to save this flank. But as soon as Damaxu saw that coming, he just smartly pulled his cavalry out, as he knew as soon as these guys get all in the combat that he can't win that anymore. He needs his chargers to charge in and out, and rear charges if best. And he just used his units to pull up here, secure that position, and let's just click on play again. And he has now it's a slight slope, so he does have a small advantage there, but not too much, I would say. And let's see how this is going to develop now. The bar is, yeah, quite even, I would say. So it is maybe back to the start, only that the armies are now on even grounds, like they should have been from the beginning on. And yeah, all of these units are resting now. Still exhausted, very tired, warmed up. And now the French units, they're all very tired. Meaning Damaxu will have the advantage with his warmed up troops against these tired troops. And we can see now the charges are happening everywhere. Frontal charge, now the cavalry is coming. The dismounted arrow cavalry is already routing. 2 units already routing, so it doesn't look good as these dismounted feudal knights break through, and all the units that were not over half strength are routing now. And now cavalry versus cavalry again. That should be in the favor of the Moors, as they did win the cavalry fight down there, and they're only depleted units of cavalry here, even though he's using a couple of his Christian guards to help in the melee engagement to prevent his units from getting surrounded. Here we can see the crossbowmen still keep on firing. It's basically a duel now between these crossbowmen and these ones. What do we have here? Crossbowmen militia marching across, and the noble knights are routing. Here, defeat seems certain. Only a military genius could win this battle. So the French general bodyguard is losing the combat. Knights Hospitaller, yep, they're all losing here on this side. How does it look here? Victory is a distinct possibility. Defeat is a distinct possibility. So that's kinda even. These guys, defeat is a distinct possibility. Victory seems certain. Only a fool could lose this battle. Yeah, so the French infantry units are thinking it's a victory. The cavalry units are thinking it's a defeat. And now we can see all the French units here are routing.
General lies dead. Pray our warriors' hearts fill with thirst for vengeance and not despair.
So that is quite the big blow now, but Damaxu is very lucky that he does just manage to rout all of these French units here, so his troops won't get the heavy morale blow. These dismounted chivalric knights, defeat seems certain, so they are losing this engagement as well. Here the cavalry can now charge into these exposed crossbowmen, and they won't last very long. Yeah, the French general's bodyguard, 1 man left, so that's the last stand of the general. Where is he there? So he's the last man standing of his cavalry unit, putting on a brave fight, but it's not going to last that long. He's killing quite a nice amount of men here. But he should die soon enough. And he does get quite a lot of hit point damage.
Men have slain the infidel general. Now the serpent's head has been cut off. Great victories are like sweet nectar. Come, let us drink of the most rare and glorious fruit.
So yeah, as we can see now, everything is routed. And he manages to turn this battle, even though it looked halfway through like he's going to lose it. They deployed nearly the same amount of troops, but the Marks lost way less. He only lost roughly 1,000, while the Frenchmen lost 1,400, making it roughly 94 men remaining here, while the Marks still has 600 left. Then let's see which units did the best for him. Casualties inflicted. His Christian Guard definitely with 91, 47, 60, 103. The crossbow militia, that definitely paid off. Peasant crossbowmen, 260 kills. Holy shit. And I thought they would be crap. But seems they do have quite the nice accuracy. Here, dismounted Christian Guard also 190 kills. So yeah, the small numbers here, 8 and 14, this kind of stuff, these were the units that got wrecked in the beginning. But the heavy units he kept in the backhand secured him the victory. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. If you did not, please leave a dislike and explain me in the comments why. Also, if you want me to commentate one of your replays, just send it to me. If you don't know how, just add me on Steam or text me a personal message. I will tell you how you manage or how you can send me one, and I will also give you the email address. And I see you next time.